Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Today I want to take a quick look at the 8th episode of Better Call Saul Season 4. A friendly warning to all. If you aren't caught up on all of Better Call Saul and all of Breaking Bad, there will be spoilers in this video. So viewers, please be warned.
Figure it out on the way.
You're back on Thursday?
Thursday, yeah, unless we break down in Amarillo.
Things begin with Saul parting ways with Kim as he leaves on a trip. Saul's on a bus, and he's hard at work writing away. He's writing all types of postcards and letters, and he soon recruits some help among his fellow travelers on the bus. Saul gives some general instructions for the letters, and he pays his help for their efforts. Saul ultimately arrives at a Coushatta, Louisiana post office with a huge sack of letters. Nacho is seated in Hector's old spot, and Crazy 8 is seated in Nacho's old spot. Some dude is short on cash, Nacho calls him over, and Nacho rips his earring out and gives him a stern warning while making mention of interest owed. And Nacho is none too happy with Crazy 8.
You had to do that, man. The guy's not going to learn otherwise.
So why didn't you do it?
Nacho goes home, and he tosses some drugs to a couple of stoner chicks before heading upstairs. He opens a safe full of cash, and Nacho becomes mesmerized by what I assume are documents for him and his father pertaining to his exit strategy. For the Germans, rest and relaxation apparently means some quality time at the strip bar. The young Germans are loving it, but the seniors are a little out of place, so Mike and Zeigler head to an old man bar. Zeigler gets a case of loose lips after a few cold ones, and Mike goes to check on the boys. And there's a ruckus going on, and Kai is getting rowdy. Mike smooths things over and pays off the bouncer, and Kai is mighty perturbed.
I'm not going. I paid.
You are done. Go on, try me.
Zeigler is still running his mouth about things he shouldn't be saying, and Mike isn't happy about this when he catches him in the act. So Mike drags the drunken German out of there before he gets even more out of hand. Kim's listening to tunes and working on Huell's case. Saul is headed to the nail salon, and the disconnect between Saul and Kim has apparently reached a point where they rarely even dine together anymore, something that was previously a staple in their relationship. Saul is doing stuff with phones and labels at the nail salon, and Mrs. Nguyen believes he's having lady trouble, so she pours him a drink and gives him some friendly advice before leaving the bottle.
You bring flowers. You say sorry. Then say sorry again. Whatever she says, you say sorry.
Kim has a meeting with the assistant DA, Suzanne, and Kim brings some muscle along. Kim insists no jail time for Huell. The deal is rejected, and Kim's high-priced associates start doing their thing. Suzanne looks amused by Kim's theatrical show of strength, and they speak privately after the meeting. Suzanne is not intimidated by this gesture in the least.
And at the end of all this, your client is still going away.
I guess we'll see.
Mike is still pissed at Zeigler for running his mouth drunk, and Zeigler apologizes before Mike gives him a very stern warning to watch his step.
I'm sorry, Mike. I had too much beer. And I may have said more than I should have.
Think about what happens if something goes wrong. Do you understand what I am saying to you?
Judge Munsinger is all fired up, and he's none too happy about all of the mail he's receiving on Huell's behalf. Kim and Suzanne are getting an earful, and the good judge wants them to work things out.
Are you talking about a bunch of yahoos packing my court? Look, if I receive one more letter from some swamp-dwelling do-gooder, I'm going to scream. I have looked at this case. It does not merit a circus. Now you two, work it out.
We've tried, Your Honor.
Try again.
Suzanne is up to the challenge, and she begins investigating Huell with her team. She goes through the letters and finds one with a phone number. Suzanne calls, leaves a voicemail, tries another number, and holy shit, it's one of Saul's film crew geeks. And she's pretending to be a religious pal of Huell's.
Shame on you!
Yeah, not too shabby.
I've been taking improv classes.
Huell's face is plastered all over the website of the Free Will Baptist Church. Saul gets another call, and Saul does his best pastor character, where he makes a spirited defense for Huel. Saul is firing on all cylinders, and Suzanne is buying into it, hook, line, and sinker.
I believe he might have been helping his friend, and that's the Huel that I know.
Saul gives his film geeks instructions on the other phones if they ring, and Saul is off. He heads to the court, and he's creeping around spying on Kim and Suzanne. Kim comes out, she meets Saul in the stairwell, and Kim is all hot and turned on, and she forces herself on Saul. Kim and Saul are all lovey-dovey in bed, and they appear to still be celebrating their victory for Huel. Kim's got to get ready for an appointment, leaving Saul in bed. Kim's at a Mesa Verde meeting, she seems pretty bored, and she has to turn down one of Kevin's ideas and side with Paige. Kim is quietly admiring the tequila cork from a previous scheme she pulled with Saul. Mike gives Gus an update on the excavation, and Gus wants Mike's opinion on Zeigler.
And what do you say? I've got eyes on him. But yeah, he's good.
Jimmy's checking out a new office space. He goes outside. Kim's there. They share a smoke. And Jimmy promises Kim that they will never do anything like that ever again where they broke so many laws together.
Don't worry. No one's gonna know about it. It'll be like it never happened.
Let's do it again.
Nacho heads to the restaurant, and someone has commandeered the kitchen. Nacho moves in, and a very merry individual is cooking inside. Holy shit! His name is Eduardo. And Eduardo is awfully happy, and he is apparently here to oversee the Salamanca operation. And Nacho is none too pleased by this.
But listen, don't even worry. It's gonna be like I'm not even here.
All in all, I thought it was a very enjoyable episode where everything seems to be pushing forward. The stir-crazy Germans are losing their shit. Between Kai getting fresh and belligerent with a dancer, and Zeigler running his mouth after a few too many, with about half the job left to go, the evidence strongly suggests that something very wrong is about to happen. We know the lab will ultimately be finished, but will the Germans ever see the light of day again once it is? Nacho appears to have a solid exit strategy in mind, but he also appears to be battling against the clock. Between being under Gus's thumb and now having every aspect of the operation being supervised by Lalo, it might be time for Nacho to grab his old man and hit the road. Whatever happens here, the addition of Eduardo is a welcome one. With so many characters in Better Call Saul who always seem to be miserable, it's nice to see someone who's in a really good mood and enjoying life. But the coolest aspects of this episode for me was watching Kim and Saul's scheme unfold to save Huel.
And at the end of all this, your client is still going away.
I guess we'll see.
Are you talking about a bunch of yahoos packing my court?
Shame on you!
I believe he might have been helping his friend, and that's the Huel that I know.
Let's do it again.
I mean, that line right there said it all, didn't it? And incidentally, am I the only one who thinks it's pretty hot that Kim is Breaking Bad? I could watch this line all day.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
At this point, the only positive thing Saul and Kim have going on is that Kim gets all hot and turned on whenever her and Jimmy act as co-conspirators in carrying out scams and various other illegal behaviors. Kim loves the hustle just as much as Jimmy does. And indeed, Kim seems to love the hustle every bit as much as Walter White loved cooking meth.
I liked it. I was good at it.
Let's do it again.
But at the end of the day, when Kim left the bed, something about the look in Saul's eyes leads me to believe that he knows the end is near. I'm not sure how things will come to an end between him and Kim, but I think Saul knows the relationship with Kim is unsustainable due to the fundamental changes in their personal dynamics. Kim might want to be all in on Saul's shady criminal endeavors, but does Saul really want his beloved Kim forever tainted by his evil direction? That look on his face in the bed, that leads me to believe he actually wants better for her. But will that feeling overcome the fact that he's equally turned on, that Kim's turned on by the hustle? With only 2 episodes left, I really can't wait to find out what happens. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful night.
Are you talking about a bunch of yahoos packing my court?
Yeah, not too shabby.
I've been taking improv classes.
Let's do it again.
Shame on you!
There's holmium and helium and hafnium and erbium and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium and manganese and mercury and molybdenum, magnesium, dysprosium and scandium and cerium and